I am probably the president's #1 fan.
For over a decade, Nicki Minaj wasn't just a rapper. She was the standard. She built an empire on confidence and one of the most loyal fan bases in music. But tweets replaced songs, controversy replaced context, and fans began to turn. From pandemic backlash to calling herself Trump's #1 fan, this isn't one mistake. It's how an icon's fall from grace unfolded in real time. When Nicki Minaj was untouchable, before the backlash, before the think pieces, before the timelines turned hostile, Nicki Minaj was widely respected, even by people who didn't like her music. Born Annika Tanya Marriage in Queens, New York, Nicki's rise didn't feel manufactured. She came up through mixtapes, performances, and pure hunger. Her early work showed technical ability that demanded attention. She could rap fast, slow, aggressive, playful, sometimes all in the same verse. What made Nicki different wasn't just skill, it was fearlessness. She leaned into characters, accents, alter egos. She treated rap like theater and somehow made it feel authentic. In an industry where women were often told to be one thing, Nicki showed up as everything. By the time Pink Friday was released in 2010, she had already proven herself. The album wasn't just successful, it was a cultural moment. Super Bass became a global hit without Nicki watering herself down. She didn't soften her image to cross over. The world crossed over to her. Throughout the early 2010s, Nicki Minaj dominated in a way no female rapper had before. She broke chart records. She dominated features. She influenced fashion, internet slang, and how women in rap could present themselves. And then there were the Barbs. Nicki didn't just have fans. She had an army. They didn't just stream music. They defended her online, organized trends, fought critics, and treated attacks on Nicki as personal attacks on themselves. That loyalty became part of her brand. At this stage, Nicki's confrontational personality worked. When she called out sexism, in the industry, people listened. When she said she was overlooked, fans agreed. She wasn't seen as reckless. She was seen as real. That's where her grace came from, trust. The image starts to crack. Even at her peak, Nicki Minaj was no stranger to controversy. Feuds were part of her career from early on. But in hip-hop, that was expected. Rap thrived on competition. The difference was timing. As social media grew, every disagreement became public and permanent. Feuds weren't just in lyrics anymore. They played out in tweets, Instagram lives, subtweets, and comment sections. Her long-running tension with Cardi B changed the way people talked about Nicki. Where she was once framed as the only woman fighting for space, she was now increasingly portrayed, fairly or not, as someone unwilling to share it. The narrative shifted. Instead of the underdog, Nicki began to be seen as the gatekeeper. Still, none of this seriously hurt her career. Albums sold, tours sold out, and the Barbs stayed loyal. These controversies felt survivable because they were rooted in music industry politics. That began to change in 2018. Nicki married Kenneth Petty, a man whose criminal history, including a sex offense conviction, became widely discussed online. For many fans, especially women who had long viewed Nicki as a symbol of empowerment, this created real discomfort. Instead of addressing those concerns calmly, Nicki responded aggressively. She defended her husband loudly. She criticized bloggers. She attacked commenters. She framed nearly all criticism as harassment or jealousy. As the arguments escalated, Nicki's social media presence became more combative. She blocked thousands of users, argued directly with fans, and posted emotional responses that kept the controversy alive. During this period, Nicki experienced a sharp drop in her online following. At one point, she lost millions of followers in a short span, with some estimates putting the number in the 8-figure range across platforms. For the first time, fans weren't leaving because of music. They were leaving because of behavior. And this was different. They weren't angry. They weren't trying to cancel her. They were confused about who Nicki was becoming and whether the person they once defended so fiercely was still the same artist they believed in. The woman who once spoke for survivors now seemed unwilling to acknowledge why people were uncomfortable. The image didn't shatter, but it cracked. And then came the moment that changed everything. The tweet that changed everything. In September 2021, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, she claimed that a friend of her cousin experienced severe side effects after getting the COVID vaccine, including swollen testicles and impotence. The tweet went viral instantly. Doctors responded. Journalists responded. Politicians responded. Even the government of Trinidad and Tobago addressed the claim publicly, stating there was no evidence supporting it. Nicki didn't back down. Instead, she reframed the conversation. She wasn't anti-vaccine, she said. She was anti-coercion. She framed herself as someone asking questions in a world that didn't allow dissent. She tweeted, "They want you to be afraid. Don't be afraid. Speak up." When experts explained why the claim was misinformation, Nicki didn't correct it. She argued. She escalated. She leaned into language about censorship and free thought. Later, she tweeted, "I'm not anti-vax. I just don't like being forced." For many fans, this moment felt different. This wasn't music. This wasn't industry politics. This was a global health crisis. The tone that once felt rebellious now felt irresponsible. And defending Nicki suddenly meant defending misinformation, something many fans weren't willing to do. Headlines shifted. Think pieces exploded. The public perception of Nicki Minaj changed, not instantly, but decisively. When Twitter turned on her and backlash intensified, Nicki's behavior online became more aggressive. She argued directly with critics, journalists, and fans. She blocked users in large numbers. She posted long threads framing herself as a victim of coordinated attacks. At one point, after days of nonstop criticism, Nicki locked and briefly deactivated her Twitter account. It was shocking. This was the platform where Nicki thrived, where she interacted with fans, where the Barbs defended her hardest. Around this period, analytics trackers and fan communities reported that Nicki had lost millions of followers in a short time, an extremely rare moment where her online influence visibly dipped. When she returned to Twitter, her tone had changed. She tweeted messages like, "People don't want truth. They want obedience. If you don't agree with them, they want you silenced." To some fans, this was the breaking point. Nicki wasn't just misunderstood anymore. She was unwilling to listen. The relationship between Nicki and her audience had shifted from connection to confrontation. Trump's #1 fan. The final break. By January 28, 2026, Nicki Minaj's name was already surrounded by years of controversy. But that day marked a new turning point. Nicki appeared at the Trump Account Summit in Washington, D.C., an event promoting a government-backed savings initiative designed to provide seed money for children born between 2025 and 2028. During her remarks, Nicki referred to herself as Trump's #1 fan. This time, there was no resurfaced clip, no missing context, no joke from years ago. By 2026, after years of controversy, fans no longer read Nicki's words as irony. They read them as intention. Nicki did not apologize. She did not clarify. She framed the backlash as people being intolerant of independent thought. But the reaction didn't come mainly from political opponents. It came from the Barbs. Comments flooded social media. "This doesn't feel like rebellion anymore. I defended her for years. I can't do that now. She knows."